For this tutorial, we're going to need a donor car. Your donor car should be a similar size to one of the cars in BeamNG. For this demo, we're going to be using the ETK800. We're going to need a couple of files from it. Find the files in theme apps, go to BeamNG drive, content, and vehicles. In there, we'll open ETK800. Go to vehicles, and we're going to grab some files. But before that, we're going to make a new mod file. We're going to go into our BeamNG drive, mods, and unpacked. From there, we'll create a new mod. We're going to create the name can be anything. For this demo, it's going to be a Toyota Chaser, so we're just going to use that. Going to make a subfolder called vehicles. And in that folder, same name as the donor vehicle we're going to use. So ETK 800. And open that. From the ETK car file, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need the body jbeam, the brakes jbeam, and the rear suspension jbeam. Along with that, we'll copy the 3D model, as we're going to be using that as a reference for our own model. We're going to copy those files and put them in our new mod folder. From there, in Blender, we're going to import our model and import the ETK800 model for reference. From here, we're going to align our own model, the front fender, to the front fender of the donor model. And then delete the donor models. Sure to apply transformations you made. Now that this car is aligned with the front wheels, we can now export it out. Export as a DAV file into your new project folder. Naming convention doesn't really matter, but make it obvious. One thing you do need to know is what the model name is within that file. So Chaser 1. And we can close this out. Now in our new mod file, we're gonna adjust the jbeam files. First one we're gonna adjust is the body sedan. I'm just gonna change the name to something different. Chaser. We're gonna open the jbeam file and edit it. We're gonna edit a couple names and files. So first of all, we want to name the jbeam to something different. So here it is, going to name Toyota Chaser. We're going to edit the name. And we're going to leave ETK body the same. Now we're going to change the flex body. We can Control F, find flex body, and change the name reference to the one we had in Blender. So Chaser. Now there's a couple things, since this is a mesh slab, we don't need any exterior things showing. So like doors and trunk panels. You can omit BeamNG from seeing these things by just being 2 forward slashes. So we don't need like things like the fender, quarter panels, headlights, etc. Alternatively, you can leave these on, but you will have to manually remove them in-game. With that done, we can save it. Move on to the next file. We want to rename the brakes and suspension to. In the suspension file, we're going to rename it. Save that, and we're going to leave that for now. In the brakes, we're going to delete everything except for the rear brakes. Give that a unique name too. And now we can load up BeamNG. Go to our garage. Load up our ETK 800. Now we can switch our body to our new one. And set the rear suspension to our new one, as well with the brakes. As we can see, we made it so the body lines up with the front wheels, but of course the rear wheels do not line up, and we're going to fix that next. We're going to go out and test. We go back to our suspension JB. We're going to edit the first part of the suspension that controls the initial offset. Sometimes the wheel position isn't too obvious. What you can do is search for wheel _R_4 or 4 lug wheels, or wheel _R_5. So here you can find the setup for the rear wheels, the variable offset, and we're going to adjust the Y value. Y value controls front and back location. So since the wheel is too far back, we're just gonna make the length a little bit shorter. So go by an increment. So 0.3 and save the file. We'll go back into BeamNG and press Control R to reload. Wheel moves a little bit forward, a little too much, so we're just gonna add back half. Save that. And reload. A little bit too far still, so keep adjusting as you go. That's about perfect. But you notice the brake rotor is now offset by quite a lot. So now we're going to fix the brake rotor. So go back to your jbeam file. We can now close out our suspension. And we're going to match the brake location to our wheel location. So we have this whole set of the brakes. We're going to look for a position and edit all the middle value here. What you can do in Visual Studio Code is to double click, highlight all the values, and go to right click and change all the currencies. So what was it? 3, 2. I'm going to save that, reload, and now our brake rotor is in the right position. And now our mesh slap is complete. From here we can go in and add some proper materials to our model and add any additional features you see fit to make a proper mod, or just leave it as is as a mesh slap. Hope this tutorial is insightful, and see you in the next video.